Today we're going to be looking at the little brother to a digital magnifier that we already featured on the channel once before. Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Yes, today we're looking at the Looky 5. You guys might remember that a while ago I put out a video where I showed off the Looky 10. That was a 10-inch digital magnifier by a company called Rehan. Well, I just got my hands on the 5-inch version of that. So this is the smaller, more compact version, but still a pretty cool little device. So I thought today we would feature it on the channel. All right, so here's the box. Let's do a really quick unboxing, see what you get inside. So you got some paperwork here, and there is the Looky 5 right on top. Nicely packaged inside some foam. So let's set that aside, set the foam aside. And then here's all the goodies that come with it. You get a microfiber cleaning cloth. Looks like a bag, carrying bag, that has a belt loop on there, as well as a D-ring for connecting it to like a carabiner or putting a wrist strap or a neck strap onto there. Then we have the battery. This is the battery, and this doubles as the handle as well. Set that aside. What do we have up here? This is your charging cable. Then you have several different other types of plugs from other countries, European, things like that. So that's good. No matter where you live, you'll be able to power this guy up. Then we have a really thick manual here. This is an HDMI to micro or mini HDMI. So that way you'll be able to connect the Looky 5 to an external monitor like a TV or your computer monitor and watch it on the big screen. This is also the component cables. You've got video, I guess it's just a video cable. So if you have an older TV that doesn't support HDMI, you can connect the Looky 5 to that. And more stuff. What is this? I believe this is the strap that I was talking about earlier. You can connect to the case. Then you also have this little rubber sticker here. And what this does is, you'll notice that the Looky 5 is just a one large screen. There aren't any buttons. There's a power button on top that also doubles as the camera button, but there aren't any other buttons for like zooming in, zooming out, changing contrast, that sort of thing. It's all done with on-screen buttons or gestures, which can be pretty cool and convenient. It's very much like using a smartphone, but maybe if someone isn't very tech savvy or they have never used a smartphone, then you can put these on the screen, the sticker on the screen, and it will outline the buttons with a raised rubber texture. So it gives you a tactile indication of where the on-screen buttons are located. So that's pretty cool. And a giant magnet, sheet of magnet something or other. Okay, I'm not sure what this is going to be used for, but we will have to see. All right, that's everything in the box. So here is the Looky 5, and it's a really nice little digital magnifier. This is the battery / handle I was talking about. And what's cool about this is you can actually purchase extra batteries, and you can even get a charger that you can plug this into to quick charge the battery. And so if you had multiple of these batteries, you could have one charging and one plugged into the device. And then when you need, this one dies, you can just unplug it, plug the fresh one in, and start charging this one. Now this is the battery, it's also the handle. It also allows the device to sit at a 45-degree angle for reading. So 45 degrees is a nice reading angle sitting at a desk or a table. So as I mentioned before, there's only one single button. That is the power and the camera button. This is also how you access the settings page to configure the device. So let's go ahead and turn this on. We've got a piece of paper here that we will try and read. Just long press the power button here. You get a little audio cue that it's turning on, and it boots up really quickly. So sitting at this 45-degree angle here makes it really easy to slide here and read the text on this paper. In this default configuration, the controls are gestures you do on the screen. So if you swipe on the left side or the right side, swipe up from the bottom to the top, you can zoom in or zoom down. Touch on the screen to focus. Once it locks focus, then it stays there. You don't have to keep refocusing. And then slide down and it's still in focus. As I said, it locks on there. In order to change the contrast or the color modes, you can swipe from the top to the bottom and you can cycle through. It's got a ton of different color modes. If you swipe from the bottom to the top, you just go back in the list. So all the standard colors that we're used to, plus some different ones like reds and greens. If you long press on the bottom half of the screen, you get some on-screen buttons that pop up, and they will turn off after a couple seconds here just to stay out of the way. But you can turn off or on the sounds. You can also cycle through different lines, vertical lines and horizontal lines. You can also change the brightness. If it's too bright or not bright enough, you can cycle through several different levels of brightness. If we long press on the top here, you get your battery percentage as well as a button to quickly jump through all the different color contrasts. Now you can also quickly press the power button here. As I said, it's also the camera button, so that took a picture, and you can see take the paper away and our picture remains. What's really cool though is you can zoom in just like normal, and once you're zoomed in, you can also move around using the touch screen. You can move around on that image. Now I should have focused before I took that picture, but that's why it's blurry. Then of course you can also change the different color modes. Now I mentioned this tactile sticker that you also get in the box. And where that comes into play is you can change the configuration of the buttons. You can actually add on-screen buttons that stay there all the time. The Looky 5 is turned off right now, so to get into the settings menu, you just press and hold the power button and continue to hold it through the boot up process. And now we're in the settings menu. The first menu we get into is actually customizing the different color modes. And you can see if it has a check, it's enabled. If it has an X, it's disabled. And then you just swipe to the left to cycle through all the different color modes. Swipe right to go back. So what's really nice about that, say this blue and yellow. I very rarely have met anybody that really likes the blue and yellow. So you know what? I'm gonna turn it off because I don't need the blue and yellow. Then you come through and you say, maybe green doesn't work for me either. I don't see any better with the different green colors. So now, when I cycle through, there's our black and white and our yellows, but we skipped right over the blues and the greens, went right to the reds. So now I don't have to worry about those anymore. Now, when you want to move on to the next setting to configure, you just swipe down from the top. And in this one, you can change the different hertz frequency of the display. This might be useful for different types of TVs that you want to connect it to, different types of lighting situations you have. I believe in other countries, the lights run on different frequencies, so you can change that. Swiping down brings you into the button layout, and this is where this little sticker comes into play. This is the default layout. You see you have the sound button to the left on the bottom. In the middle is the different lines. And then on the bottom right, you have the brightness control. Up top left, you have the battery. Top right, you have the different color modes. Well, we can change this configuration if this doesn't work for you. This is the default one. If I swipe to the side here, now we have our on-screen buttons. And these buttons are the zooming in, zooming out, as well as the color modes. And it has a little clock here with the 2 seconds. That's how long these buttons will stay on the screen. Now you can swipe one more to the side here, to the right, and you can have the clock disappears, so this indicates that these buttons will stay on here permanently. And this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to click the power button. And now there are our buttons, our on-screen buttons, and they stay there all the time. So if I want to zoom in, I can just tap that zoom in button. If I want to zoom down, I tap the minus button. And then the one in the middle is the different color modes. So this is much more user-friendly, especially for someone that's not very tech savvy. And what's great is now we can use the sticker, and I can place this sticker right over top of those buttons, and it gives a little tactile indication of those buttons. So that is basically all the controls of the Looky 5. Really cool little device. Pretty nice. I think I like it. Alright guys, well there you go. That is the Looky 5 by Rehan. If you're interested in this, you want to learn more information, of course, I'll have a link down below to my buddies over at Irie AT. They are the American distributors for this device. So you can contact them to get all the information that you're going to need. Well, as always guys, it's my pleasure bringing you this new information. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you aren't already subscribed, be sure to click on that button as well. Also make sure you turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever I put out a video in the future. Thanks a lot guys, Sam with The Blind Life. We will see you next time.